Hello, welcome back tonight. All this week we are in a love theme, and so we'll be doing love readings throughout the week whenever I come on, along with other encouragement for the week or for the day, right? Each day that I come on. And so tonight we're going to take a look and see for those that have a connection or a relationship, you may be asking, will love grow? What's going to happen, with this situation? What is happening in this situation? And so this reading, I want to take a look and ask Spirit to reveal the heart of the matter, okay? And see where it's going if you are in a connection and you're wondering, okay? So if you would just take a moment just to meditate on your connection, on your situation. If that is a question in your mind, will love grow? Let's see what Spirit has to say. Okay, thank you so much for stopping by. I am using my Tarot of the Heart deck, and then I'm also using I'll also be using my Clarity Tarot. I picked up the wrong deck. I'll be using my Clarity Tarot along with this Oracle deck for love, okay? My name is Letty, by the way. Thank you for stopping by. And if you are new, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe if you're enjoying the content. If you are feeling led to do so, and you do subscribe, make sure you hit the bell so you're notified in case I go live in the future, or if I post new content, you'll be notified, okay? If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you for stopping by. Let's jump in and see what's happening with this connection, okay? All right, let's take a look at where you are. All right, so you show up in the energy of the Lovers. You're showing up in the energy of the Lovers. Okay, and as the Lovers, you're showing up as the Lovers. You could be Gemini, but this actually indicates you could be in love with this person that you are connected to. The Lover shows up as well in a way where it may display you in a test. The Lovers presents, when it comes to love, possibly being tested in some type of way. That could mean having your loyalties divided between family and your connection, or even having a third party intervene, right, in the connection. But you are showing up as the Lovers card. This may mean that there is something to take a look at in your circumstance from your perspective in this connection. Also, what's standing out for me with the Lovers, that it does have roses at the very top, if you can see that. Now, roses does give hint of secrecy, possibly. I don't know if this is a connection that you haven't told anyone about for, fear of people not agreeing, or just the nature of the situation that either one of you are in. That says that there could be some secrecy around you, right, when it comes to this connection. I'm also noticing in the background apple trees. Now, when it comes to love, apple trees have been depicted to mean immortality. And so there could be something to do with age here, possibly looking younger than you actually are. It also has some significance with, when it comes to love, with magic too. And so this represents you, the apples also represented Venus, this very Venusian energy. So you could be someone who looks younger than they are, who carries a young energy, someone who doesn't seem to age, right? According to the chronological clock, right? There's a difference between how you look and your actual age. And so, these things may be very well applicable to you. I also see a Cupid at the top, shooting the arrow. And so it does feel like there is a heavy sense of true, passionate love coming from you. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get a little bit of clarification after we look at all the cards. And so I have the High Priest coming out. And this is who you're thinking about. It could also be the conflict, right? But I also feel like this is more about who it is that you are thinking about or desiring, okay? With the High Priestess coming out, this says that you desire marriage, right? The High Priest represents marriage. Now, the High Priest could also represent who it is that you are connected to or who it is that you have on your mind. The High Priest talks about the energy of commitment, of a higher level of institution as well, hence marriage. Now, the High Priest in this deck is actually the Hierophant, right? A religious leader, teacher. It's actually the counterpart to the High Priestess. However, unlike the High Priestess who has this sort of hidden knowledge, the High Priest is very open and welcoming with the knowledge that is held. Now, in this situation, I feel like this means that you desire marriage, right? It's a higher level of commitment. And so I do feel like this means that you desire marriage. And in the card, he's seen holding up the 2 fingers, right? That symbolizes giving a blessing. And if you're together with this person and unmarried, this card actually foretells a unity and a growing connection that will most likely end in matrimony, okay? And it talks about what it is that you are desiring. It also could talk about who you may be desiring. And so I feel like there is a sense that you are wanting something serious, right? This is not the Fool, just a quick fling. No, there's this level of wanting something deep and something concrete, right? So our third card was the Tower. This is the best that you can attain at the present moment. Like, this is the best you can expect. Now, the Tower isn't all around bad. It does talk about a level of trouble. It talks about a level of turmoil that could be, as you look, everything is falling down, right? This could be based on things that could deal with the ego, that could actually destroy, the connection, or things entering in to the connection that actually causes everything to fall down. I did get a little bit of that with the Lovers. It talked about being tested in some way. And so the Tower represents endings, honestly. But it doesn't necessarily mean that it is a permanent end, right? Sometimes ends need to happen. And if it's meant, it's so the right beginning can be implemented. So the foundation of what it is that's being built is solid and not built on a lie or false pretense or ego based type things, And so the best that you can expect right now, it's saying the Tower. Wow. And so this could possibly be, it doesn't always have to do with the people in the connection. It could even be, other people trying to intervene and trying to tear down what it is that you're building with this other person. It could be things like that. This does point to a time where you may need to actually just surrender. The Tower is usually a time where things are really just out of our control. There's not really anything you can do but surrender to it. Again, it's possibly knocking things down that weren't stable to begin with. As I'm looking at this card, it's possibly tearing things down that would not have provided a stable foundation. You may even, for whoever this is relating to, when that Tower comes and things get knocked down, it says that you may even feel a sense of relief with this for some reason. Maybe there's pressures that are involved with the connection that needs to be alleviated. This is the only way for that to happen. Maybe this is the only way for, someone to really, really conclude that this is what they want or not, But the best for right now, there may be blocks, there may be things that just aren't aligned right now for the best scenario to happen just yet, okay? But we'll jump in and find out why that came out. And then in regards to, I want to find out what is beneath the surface, what's hidden right now. And the Sun came out for that, which is really good energy. The Sun is really good energy. Now, with the Sun card, I feel like part of this is dealing with family, what is hidden. So this may point to, and we'll clarify in a moment here, either there's family involved in some type of way, and it's not out in the open yet, but it will be with the Sun, or there is hidden family, like children in the background that aren't being represented or brought out into the open. There may be hidden children, I feel like. And so we're going to clarify that as well. But the Sun does bring in familial energy, very warm, comforting, very loving energy. So it says that there's some very close, nurturing relationship that's not being displayed here. It's not out in the open. It's hidden for some reason. Yeah, that's very interesting. We'll have to jump into that. Now with the World in the outcome, the World actually is a beautiful card, by the way. It's talking about a universal love that's in the outcome. It also is talking about heaven on earth. The outcome is probably going to be something when it comes to love that is long term. The World is long term, and it symbolizes possibly even new life. This connection may end up developing into something bigger, celebratory, something that will even be shared. It's almost like wedding energy, being seen. The World talks about exposure, having this idea of the internet, right? You know how everybody can see you through the internet, having this multi ability to expose, what's happening. It also could talk about traveling with your significant other as well. And so it's bigger than you. Whatever this is will end up being, I almost feel like it's going to be not only a love that you get to enjoy, but it's going to be like a universal love is what I'm getting. It's interesting that I would have these, all these different little symbols on this card. I'm looking at the lilies, and the lilies actually represent, they're all around her. They represent purity and innocence, chastity, a sacred love, not secret, but sacred. It's like a higher level of purity. Interesting. It also has the lion on this card. The lion has the symbol of sovereignty, right? We understand what the lion represents: courage, strength, and love. Now, when we look at this, there's lots of things represented in the world card. The four corners of the earth: stability, peace, protection, but it also points to elements. It also points to possible having support in many different ways as well. But the lion is strength, and it also can talk about passionate conflicts. And so for me, that would mean like there's a deep level of love here and protection. The eagle is on here as well, representing like a masculine power, paternal power, almost like a higher guidance or higher mission. Very interesting. And so overall, the world brings in that energy of universal love. Like, I feel like Spirit is saying this is going to actually be bigger than you could ever expect. Many will probably be touched by this love. So let's go ahead and go back and clarify and just tap in a little bit deeper, okay? So we're going to go back to the energy that you show up in, which is the Lovers. And so to clarify the Lovers, I do feel like you are, or you have a capacity to love very deeply. There could also be tests around this love that you are feeling, that you are embracing, that you are standing in right now. So for my viewer spirit, let's clarify the Lovers. Sixes for me also has represented coming home to self. I feel like through this connection that you're in, there's a lot that you're learning about yourself. You're probably learning how to put up good boundaries. You're probably learning about your own ego and ways to, step out of that energy. Because again, we were talking about the ego and how it can be very destructive for the relationship. This could probably be a time with the Seven of Wands to really look at it from a different or a wider perspective, possibly others. You could possibly be learning how to see from others' point of view right now. Why is the Lovers here for my viewer spirit? Yeah, you show up in very protective, guarded energy, and also very content with where you are. It almost feels like you're very protective of yourself and whatever you have created for yourself up to this point. This could be very protective of this relationship. You know, if there are people trying to intervene or family trying to pull your attention away from this, I feel like you're defending this. You know, this is something that's very important to you and very significant as it pertains to your life right now. And it's been very rewarding to you in many ways as well. And so, yeah, it's worth fighting for you. And you may, in fact, be standing up for this connection, no matter who it is that doesn't like it, you know. And so when it comes to tests that could be coming through, right, that's probably what that means. Is that you see lots of value in this connection. And it's worth fighting for and defending. Okay. And I don't know why when I first started this reading, I was picturing someone with blonde hair, someone with blonde curly locks. I don't know if it almost looked like it could be natural, doesn't have to be, but I was picturing someone with blonde hair. Yeah. You could be Asian as well, or Latino. Yeah. Okay, so for the High Priestess, this is what you desire. We kind of surmise that this was about marriage. It could also be in synchronicity with the person that you are connected to. But let's get some clarity. Why is the High Priest here? Clarify the High Priest in my viewers' desire or the challenge around this. I feel like it has to do with you wanting to be married, right? You wanting a higher level of commitment. Clarify the High Priest. Ooh, and the Tower shows up again. And so let's get another card and see. The Knight of Cups and the Tower. And so this could really, when it comes to what you're desiring and the challenge around this desire, the Tower and the Knight of Cups, first of all, this could have a lot to do with the Tower. We did discuss that, and we were talking about trouble, you know, in paradise, the trouble of the water. But to really boil down to what it is, when we talk about the Tower, it's things that, number one, are out of our control. There's no way around this. This needs to happen. Number two, a lot of times it's to tear down things that aren't serving us. That's not going to help us bring in what it is that we desire. So it's almost like a favor from Spirit. You know, we can look at it that way. It's that thing that you would never do, right? And so Spirit comes in and, you know, cleans house. And so this could have to do with, as it pertains to the high priest and the challenge of what it is that you desire. Spirit is saying there could be old habits, right? As you grow in this connection, there's the need to confront some things that aren't going to work, some things that may in fact end up tearing down what it is that you're trying to build. Things like ego, things like old patterns and old cycles, old habits, old mindsets around love. Sometimes being in the wrong relationships can teach us the wrong things and could cause us to be stuck in many ways. And so to get unstuck, to unlearn, sometimes it's necessary to ask for help. This is help, I feel. This is help. For someone, this may even be help with receiving love, right? You may even have a hard time receiving love, you know, because we do have the Knight of Cups here, talking about, you know, being offered or advances or, you know, love messaging. You have a hard time receiving love, possibly. For someone, you could possibly, Spirit could be asking you to work on your sincerity, right? Work on your sincerity. When you say a thing, mean that thing. Don't just say it, but back it up. Don't let it just be empty words, but actually back it up with action, you know. There's nothing that speaks louder than action, right? And so this could be a plethora of things, you know. And then the Knight of Cups, when it comes to love, it could be kind of like someone with the mentality of like Casanova or Valentino, you know, that rico suave, I can talk my way into anything type of energy. But Spirit is breaking the old cycle around that mentality, because that's not going to work with where it is that you want to go, with what it is that you're trying to bring in, with the level of love that you desire here, right? Either you have to know how to break through that level of communication and pull out a higher level of standard, right? I feel like that's what this is saying. It's from both sides, right? Because some of us have types, right? Some of us have types. We love a certain type, though it may not be good for us, right? We just like that. And if it's not that, we may find it hard to receive that real, honest, integrous kind of love. To some of us, I'm gonna really be real, we think that honest love is boring, right? Because we're so used to the drama, and we're so used to the heartbreak and the disappointment. Like when someone really comes along and is head over heels and they're serious, like we see something wrong with that, because we're so used to that toxic love. And so this is talking about having to break patterns and change mindsets if this is what you want. It's going to take some work to bring this in, is what Spirit is saying. To keep this, I mean, we can bring it in all day, but to keep it is a whole nother ball game. Okay. Now, in regards to the best that we can expect to come out of this situation, we're dealing with the Tower again, clarified by the High Priestess. Why is this the best that we can expect? Why? So we have the High Priestess, which brings in very romantic, very dreamy love, but it's ungrounded. It's ungrounded. And then we also bring in the Four of Wands, which came in reverse. It came in reverse. And so the Four of Wands in reverse, so with the Four of Wands coming in reverse, it usually means that either one or both of the parties are not really serious. They're not serious. One or the other party is not serious. It could also mean, if it doesn't mean that one or the other party does not really have a foundation when it comes to love that's going to be productive for the connection. Doesn't mean it's not doable. It just means that there's work to do. Okay? Usually the Four of Wands means success, harmony, stability, happiness, celebration, but it's in reverse. So it's saying before you get there, there's some things to straighten out. That's the purpose of the Tower, building down so that you can rebuild foundations. The High Priestess, romantic but not grounded, right? That's that Knight of Pentacles energy, the sweet talker, the one that knows just what to say in many cases, but then the follow-up is really what matters. It's what you do that matters. And so there's some work to be done. I feel like Spirit is saying here with the Tower, there's definitely some work to be done. And it's just keeping it real. Like, if this is what you want currently where you are, this is the best that you can expect. Now, doing the work, if both parties are willing to do the work, again, the Four of Wands did point to the possibility that someone may not really be as on board as they're pretending to be. So the Tower comes many times to reveal what's not true. It comes to reveal the lies and what's hidden, under the surface. And so speaking of hidden under the surface, we have the Sun, which seems like really beautiful energy. As we delved into the Sun, we found out that it relates to very close-knit, intimate relationships, familial relationships. But why is it hidden? That's what we're going to find out here. I also tapped into the energy of children, as we see the two little children there. And so let's just find out. Let's not guesstimate, but let's see, why is the Sun in hidden position? Why is the Sun beneath the surface? What does the Sun need to reveal? And so it's brought out Judgment and the Ace of Wands. Judgment and the Ace of Wands. And first of all, Judgment, when it comes to love, this is judgmental energy of others and of self. So there could be very critical self-loathing energies that need to be dealt with, that may not be very visible on the surface. In the picture, I'm also seeing others that are standing in watch as well. And so this could be involving, the judgment from others or the judgment of others, right? It's always difficult when you are combining families. Being in love is one thing, But when you have all this other stuff like family that you add into the picture, that's a whole nother ball game. And it has a whole nother level of, you know, conflict, and many times, right? If you're lucky, you fall in love with your in-laws, but you know, it doesn't always happen that way. And then we have the Ace of Wands. This is creativity, love, and you know, the energy of joy. And so this is the possibility of something new coming out of this. But there's the need to release judgment wherever that's coming from. There's the need to release judgment. And so that's what's hidden. There's probably some judgment happening beneath the surface. And yeah, some judgment underneath the surface. You know what? This is like, I don't know why I'm hearing this. When we talk about wands and we're talking about love, it could go in so many different directions. I almost feel like for the feminine or the masculine, nowadays it doesn't matter. There could be a hidden partner. Now, this is not for everybody, right? But there could be like a hidden tendency here with the Ace of Wands. And so clarify the Ace of Wands for me, Spirit. Clarify the Ace of Wands. Clarify the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Clarify the Ace of Wands. So we have the Moon and the Hanged Man. The Hanged Man is tied up in a tree upside down. You or your partner releases control and ego, and then high emotions with some illusions. So take that however that resonates. I don't know. So there may be something hidden there. There may be some tendencies like in the background that's not really up front. And so use your intuition, use your discretion, your higher judgment, you know. So we're going to move on here in the world. Why is the world in the outcome? By the way, the Moon does talk about like high emotions, unstable emotions too. It talks about things that are not revealed, right? Which is what we're talking about. There's still some things yet to be learned with this connection. And so this might be something to really, really give some thought, take some time. Don't rush into anything. With the world, we have the Three of Wands and the Star, which talks about commitment. The Three of Wands, engagement, celebration, moving forward, expanding in your love life, and being very positive about the future. I feel like for the most part, there is a need to really be honest and to not hold anything back. Everything needs to be placed out on the table. in the beginning, so there's no repercussion or anything coming out on the back end of this. Yeah. And if that's done, I definitely feel like, no relationship is without struggles or without things that need to be worked through, because we're all human and we're all flawed. And so that's a normal part, whether you're alone or whether you're with somebody else. These are things that you need to work out anyway, but it becomes more apparent when you decide to couple with someone, because then it's not just about you. Right now you're on someone else's timeline and possibly affecting someone else's life. And so for whoever this resonates with, in the end, the outcome, there's commitment and engagement and celebration, right? It sounds like it's headed in the direction that you desire. The high priest is headed towards that direction. Lots of things to work through. Yeah, lots of things to be released as well. Lots of honesty to be had. And so that's for you, whoever this resonates with. I do want to see if Spirit has any advice for you. Any advice for my reader here other than what came out here. Any particular advice for my reader, or my viewer rather. Any advice for my viewer, Spirit? All right, so we have the Lovers that came out, the Magician, and we have the Six of Wands. So think positive. Think positive, right? Even when the difficulties come, try to maintain this very high frequency of love and try to look for moments of light and encouragement. Okay? Use your intuition. That's a huge part of this process, is using your intuition. Use your tools. If there are opportunities to, hang out with other positive couples, that would be good. If there's opportunities to go and talk things out with a counselor or a guidance partner, use your tools. And if you have a strong spiritual connection, that's one of your tools. Use that to bounce off of and to stay balanced, right? Part of this is you really using your intuition and your own judgment as well. And then mutual caring is a part of this as well. And being open to balance, right? Not being selfish and not really putting yourself on the back burner, but be honest and true to yourself above all. And if you're serious about this connection, be true to that other person as well. That's only right, because we get what we give, essentially, is how that works many times. And if you don't feel like you're getting what you're given, maybe you are not in the right connection, okay? But that's what Spirit is saying, okay? Thank you all for stopping by. My name is LettiSpeaks. Until next time, thank you so much. I appreciate your time and your energy. And we'll get together next time, all right? That's love. That's for you. Bye.